It's the Weekend Sports Buzz with Tyler Boyd, Mark Blankenbaker.
Physical fitness, whatever. You know, whatever. You do what you like to do, I do what I like to do, okay? But you're a sucker. You're getting fed this line about how, like, you're gonna live forever or whatever. You're gonna die. Someone will kill you. Someone will kill you with a knife. Make sure your abs are friggin' ripped. You got some good guns. You want to look good for when you get stabbed with a knife. Sorry, that's how it works.
We're in here at the Weekend Sports Buzz, live on 1450 AM here in Jeffersonville, Indiana. We're going to great weekend ahead of you guys. Myself, Tyler Boyd, with Mark Blankenbaker. We're excited to be here. Mark, one day till the Louisville, Kentucky game.
It's the first Saturday of college football in the 2012 season. Notre Dame and Navy are about to kick off from Dublin, Ireland. And, yeah, Louisville and Kentucky are playing tomorrow at 3:30. It's going to be a beautiful sunny day.
It's going to be a beautiful sunny day is right.
Maybe.
Sunday, maybe.
Sunday.
It's going to be a beautiful Sunday.
Exactly.
I don't know about this. I haven't looked at the weather update. We'll get that pulled up. Do you have it pulled up? What's it looking like for today? Tomorrow.
Let's do that next segment because I have no idea.
Oh, I thought you just said you had it up.
No, I don't. I just said it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day.
Well, I think we both know, and throughout the week, it might be ugly tomorrow. We will talk about the rain tomorrow, but I wanted to start off. Give us a shout, Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzzline, 384-1450. We'd love to hear from Louisville fans today, Kentucky fans. It's a huge weekend. Like Mark said, first Saturday of college football. We got kicked off on Thursday with South Carolina Vandy game. Did you watch this?
Yes, I did. And you know what? I thought South Carolina would win by a much larger margin than they did. And then also, I thought it was crazy that pass interference call that they did not get.
Yeah, in the final drive for Vanderbilt.
Like, it may not. If they had got the call, there's no telling. But it basically ended the game.
Yeah, I was sitting there watching that, and it was blatantly and obvious pass interference on South Carolina. I believe that was down, to 15-yard line or so, 20 at most.
Right.
Definite range to go for a touchdown with a minute or so to go.
And, after watching that, I've been saying that I want South Carolina to win the East. And I don't know that now. It doesn't look like Connor Shaw is going to be able to survive the season. And Marcus Lattimore did not look like himself. So
Marcus Lattimore didn't look like himself, even though he had 2 touchdowns, which is crazy because I don't blame it on Marcus Lattimore. I put it on old Balls coach, Steve Spurrier. He really didn't even give the ball to him. Connor, like you said, Connor Shaw went down. The first 2 drives with Dylan Thompson, the quarterback for South Carolina, would pass.
Yeah.
Pass.
Lattimore, what I thought Lattimore would actually look like was actually what Devontae Bell from Michigan State looked like last night against Boise State. They gave him the ball 40-plus times.
That's crazy.
He rode that workhorse, and he basically won the game. Michigan State's a top 15 team.
17-13, right?
Bell, I don't think that they're in the top 25. So
40 times is a lot, but they do. I know I was watching that game. Michigan State beat Boise State, which basically knocks Boise State already. You're Big East
out of the top 20,
out of the top.
They're the Mountain West team this year.
Oh yeah, they're sorry, they didn't ever step foot in the Big East, did they? Or they will be next year. I keep thinking, I always get TCU confused with them. Sorry,
I don't know why. They're Horned Frogs and Broncos. They're 2 totally different.
I don't know why either. I always get confused, but. Yeah, Michigan State pulled that out, which is good for them. They have
a nice little whiteout up there.
They do.
They look good.
It did look good. I like Michigan State's fans. They seem to pack their fan base.
I've been to that stadium before. They have the most impressive bathrooms in all of college football.
Nice.
Not because they're nice, but because you don't have to wait in any lines. It's like a constant
It's a flow. It's a constant flow.
It's an engineered urine line. It's absolutely amazing.
Well, at least they're doing something right in East Lansing, I guess.
Exactly.
384-1450. We're getting going here. It's going to be a fun show. Our guest today at 9:30, Dave Spolkler from Vipe Magazine, will give us a call.
Awesome.
We're going to keeping our Vipe little partnership going, and of course our high school football talk. Go on with that. Maybe we talked about last week who won that Apple field hockey tournament. Mark, your dad was out there. I'm sure he was out there for Bellarmine.
Yeah.
And then at 10:15, I can't remember exactly what time, Doug Beaumont
Mr. Beaumont.
Mr. Beaumont, former Louisville wideout, will be
Teach me
joining
how to
us.
Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie.
Would you now when we bring him on? Would you do that Dougie on camera?
No.
You can't. Can you Dougie?
No, I can do the Bernie.
I can't. Ooh,
I can do the
Anybody
Bernie.
can do the Bernie. You just fake like you're dead.
Yeah, you
It's not
just
hard.
fake like you're dead, but you're still able to stand up.
Yeah, the Bernie. It's good. So some good guests coming on today. You got to stick around for those. Of course, we are live till 11 a.m. Some other games before we get into it, Mark, going on around the state. You know, the local programs. Murray State is playing at Florida State today. ESPN 3 at 5.
That's going to hurt.
Yeah, that's a big game for Murray State. What if they pulled that one out? That would be
It's
huge.
a paycheck, man. You know,
Paycheck
Florida
game.
State's looking for an FCS game to fill up their home schedule.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, Florida State, their fans have almost revolted against their schedule because Florida State has such a light home schedule this year. They've actually sold fewer tickets than Louisville this year, and in a stadium that's about 20% larger.
Yeah, it's a big
and
stadium.
a more traditional program than Louisville. But their fans are just totally not happy with their home.
They got
schedule.
a good ball club.
Oh,
They got a great ball club,
They're
should I
kind of
say.
like a dark horse for the national championship.
Exactly.
And it's going to be, they're going to have a great year. Number one, because of their schedule, but then also, because they're probably going to go 12-0 or 11-1 or somewhere in there. So it's going to be,
Which is kind of odd. The ACC is kind of down. I wouldn't say down, but not as good at powerful as strong. Miami's not the Miami.
North Carolina State looked terrible.
Virginia
against
Tech, in my
Tennessee.
opinion, is not Virginia Tech as the past.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Well, today's the day. The next 2 days will be getting everything going. Also going on, you have Pikeville at Campbellsville, Eastern Kentucky at Purdue. That's a good one for Eastern.
Yeah, Danny Hope was the former head coach at EKU, and he's the head coach at Purdue now.
Gary Nord, is he's
at Kentucky.
No, not Gary Nord. There is a Nord
Greg
at
Nord.
Purdue.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
a
it
Nord.
might be Gary.
It is
and I
Gary.
get Gary and Greg confused all the time. Like you get TCU and
Yes, exactly. There's
These
Nords
G-
everywhere
these
around
G
here.
Nords
Look at-
everywhere.
You got a Nord at Louisville.
Yep.
Got a Nord at Kentucky.
I don't.
No,
we
no,
don't-
no,
we
Nord
do
Purdue.
have Nord
At
at
Purdue.
Louisville. He's a tight end.
Yeah, the
but
tight end
he's
starting.
starting tight end.
Supposed to be good.
But Gary
Gary.
is at Purdue, and
Gary's at
Greg
Purdue.
is at Kentucky.
Yeah, he's there at Purdue. So congrats to his son. He gets to watch him while he, Then we got Western versus Austin P. Get on KentuckySports.co. There's a listing of all the other smaller schools. A score at Morehead State started out 1-0. They smashed Southern Virginia 55-0. Just getting that out there for all the local fans. As a Louisville fan, Mark, a Kentucky fan, you still like to see those other programs succeed around the state,
All the time, every week, and then also in the NCAA tournament. And
even
March
when they knock
Madness.
you out.
You know what? I hate that. When they put like Morehead or Murray,
Kentucky
in
versus
the-
Eastern.
in the same thing. Yeah, I do. I'm just like I want to root for these teams.
You want to see them advance and not get
I want to see
even
them-
though if they play Louisville, they advance.
That's the time when it's not fun.
It's not fun at all. I remember when they were playing Eastern 6-7 years ago in the first round, Kentucky. It was a ball game for first three quarters of that game. Then Kentucky pulled away finally, but it was
like
nerve wracking.
They have extra motivation against you, and basketball is a lot more easier to even out with a couple of good players than it is in football.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. We'll keep on the same, the National Football Talk here. Big League Sports had a good little article out about potential bowl games this year, matchups. I was looking at that last night. Of course, an ad pops up as soon as I want to look at it.
I really just hope that we can enjoy this football season because I feel like we haven't been able to enjoy the last two with the Cam Newton scandal in 2010 and then the Penn State scandal in 2011. I feel like all of college football is just rife with a scandal each year, and it's like, you know what? I want to have a good, pure game season where it's just like the entire year is like scandal free, and it's going to be about the kids on the field and the players and the teams.
Yeah, we have a game going on right now. Before I get into this, while this loads, Navy Notre Dame. Mark, I didn't know that 9 a.m. kickoff. I
knew.
Me and my man Brad are trying to figure it out. Where are they playing again?
This is in Dublin, Ireland, and I don't know which soccer or football program it is up there,
Football.
and it's probably English Premier League or something like that. But the stadium looks amazing, and the football field actually looks awesome on it. But I'm just not sure what kind of Irish fans are actually into college football at this point. Like they haven't really shown that many shots of the crowd. But this is going to go directly up against College Game Day on ESPN. And I wonder what it does to their opening day ratings.
Well, you have obviously Notre Dame, Team America, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
even though I
right.
can't stand them, I'm pretty sure you're on the same page as me.
I am, but the only reason why I'm watching is because it's on right now.
It's on right now. That's the only reason you're watching it, and that's probably another reason they did it. They're like, oh, Notre Dame, we get on nice and early, kind of like Louisville plays on Thursdays and Wednesdays. It's like we'll be on TV.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's only if you got to get on TV somehow.
Everybody wants to be on TV on Thursday night.
This is cool. They're showing the obviously the midshipmen, the Navy midshipmen fans that are all overseas. That's cool for the fans. This is in this take. As a game standpoint, it's dumb to me. It really is.
But it makes sense to play the game in Dublin. They make a ton of boats in Ireland, and which is obviously Navy. And then you have the Irish, and so it makes total sense.
For Notre Dame tight end dropping wide open passes, just carrying it over from years.
Brian Kelly's
here we go.
face is redder than a cardinal bird right now.
He's crazy. He is crazy. BCS title game. They have Bama versus Southern Cal.
I buy it.
Fiesta Bowl, Oklahoma versus Wisconsin.
That would be interesting. Actually, I look at Wisconsin because who's going to challenge them outside of Michigan?
Yeah, that's a good point. Big Ten's awful.
Right.
I mean, Ohio State will be there once Urban Meyer's allowed to
probation.
Be there. Exactly. They're all with probation.
Yeah, the leaders and legends thing, ever since they went into their their divisions, their pompous naming of themselves has really come back and popped you in the face. Note to self, don't give yourself self-anointed titles.
Yes.
Because you're probably going to be coming back down to earth.
You're really not the leaders right now.
No, or legends.
I skipped Orange Bowl, come back to that. Rose Bowl, Michigan versus Oregon.
I could, you know what? I could see Oregon and USC flip flopping, but we'll see.
Yeah, I could see. I could see that too. There, Oregon's obviously a powerful offense. USC is gonna be so good. Silas
Red, be so good.
To play immediately.
Oh yeah, he'll be better.
I mean, what kind of impact does that just already bring to them?
I know a lot of people don't watch a lot of Pac-10 football, but if you don't, you need to just find USC Oregon on the schedule
and watch it
because that's going to be really entertaining.
I did watch Mike Leach's Washington State the other night. The supposed air raid.
What was the final score on that?
I don't remember. It was too boring for me to finish watching.
It looked like BYU was going to mop the floor with Washington State.
Bronco Mendenhall's a great coach. He's a great coach. Sugar Bowl, LSU versus Texas. A lot of people, I don't know about Texas.
I don't buy
Longhorns,
Texas.
I don't know about that.
I don't buy Texas.
I don't buy him either.
Yeah.
Mac Brown, he's a great coach, but I just feel
I think that job's open at the end of the year.
There's going to be somebody else that pops in there again, like Oklahoma State, somebody that has a good season.
I agree.
Then the Orange Bowl. I skipped in because we talked about Florida State, the ACC champ, your possible national championship contender as a underranked team, if you want to say that. Versus your champions, Louisville, the Big East.
That would be awesome.
Another irrelevant Orange Bowl. Is what they call it. That's what they call it.
That's what they say.
Big League Sports, another irrelevant Orange Bowl.
Well, we don't need anybody's validation. All right, we just need trophies and championships.
I'm pretty sure, Mark. Tell me if I'm wrong. As Louisville fan base, you don't care if you make this Orange Bowl and you win it with your terrible schedule. You don't. You just won it because it's the Orange Bowl, and it does not matter. Nobody goes back after you win it and looks at the schedule, right?
Tyler,
Mark,
this schedule is extremely underrated. Extremely. All right. You know what? No, you're looking at a Southern Miss team that won 12 games last year.
Southern Miss
on the road.
I never said they're bad.
North Carolina, who's awesome. They're not getting in the rankings because they can't play in postseason.
They're on Pro Bowls. They should be on Pro Bowls still for another 30 years.
Basketball thing.
We'll get that
just
later.
Happened. I mean, that was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, that was.
But then you're looking at a Rutgers team. You're looking at a South Florida team. You're looking at a Pitt team, who are all three sitting right outside the top 25 and probably will get in there after this opening weekend.
All I know is the Belk Bowl champion NC State looked awful against Tennessee last night.
Yeah, they were a senior-heavy team.
I just don't believe when the season gets going. I'm not saying your schedule. I'll take it back. I'll recant it. Your schedule is not awful, but it's not good.
It's not.
It's nowhere near good.
It's not
in my opinion.
with top 10 teams, but you know what? You got to get teams like that to play you.
And I'm not trying
There's several of these programs that schedule around the myth. Florida hasn't played out of conference since 1991. All right? They haven't played out of conference outside the state of Florida since 1991.
I mean, you really don't need to in a talent pool of Florida. They have so many colleges, honestly.
Okay, but their last game that they played out of conference was a beatdown against Syracuse.
Okay.
All right? And then you look at the last time Louisville played Alabama, they beat them. The last time they played Florida State, they beat them. The last time they played Miami, they beat them.
Florida State was the rain game, right?
Last time they played Ohio State, they lost by 1 point. All right, so it's not like Louisville hasn't gone out and played these teams, but when you give a team like that a scare, then they're like, hey,
I'm not saying you
we're
haven't done it
good now.
before. You're just not doing it this year.
Ohio State's good in the MAC. Hey, man, let's go win that MAC East division every year.
Let's go win the MAC East.
And then let's prop ourselves up against our Big Ten schedule, which is terrible. And then,
Don't call a schedule terrible.
Oh.
Your schedule is terrible.
Yeah. Well,
let's get to a first break.
The Big East has terrible schedules. What's the Big Ten?
Terrible.
What's the ACC?
Not that good either.
Okay, so
I guess it's just the SEC is just way better than everybody else.
So if you're not scheduling out of conference like Michigan and Alabama are doing, then you're not trying to really go. And Louisville is trying, but they're not going to give up their home and homes. They're not going to go play like 5 games in a row on the road.
So kind of like Cal Perry issue in Indiana, road games. You want those home homes. It goes back. I'm with you. Can't say I'm not. I just don't like your schedule. And I think you should at least go 10, 11 wins.
Oh, I think so too.
All right, let's get to our first break. Give us a call when we come back, 384-1450 on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line. And, of course, check out one of our sponsors, livingforless.org. They're doing great things for us. Half-off deals going around the town, Roosters, Wick's Pizza, golf courses. Get on there, livingforless.org. We'll be right back. This is the Weekend Sports Buzz.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Let us know what you think. Give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line at 384-1450.
Tell me what do you see when you're looking at me? Whoa, on a mission to be what I'm destined to be.
We're back here at the Weekend Sports Buzz, 1450 a.m. Check us out on 1450, thesportsbuzz.com. Great information going on there daily. UK news, UofL news, everything you need to know, getting you prepared for tomorrow's Governor's Cup game, 3:30 kickoff right here in Louisville, Papa John's Cardinal Stadium.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing. We're going to talk about that in the next segment and so on throughout the show. But until we get there, we got a man on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line from Vipe Magazine, Dave Spelker. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, guys. What's going on?
Nothing much. I guess you want to call it an overcast, beautiful Saturday morning.
Absolutely. Watching Notre Dame and Navy in Dublin, Ireland while we do the show today.
Hey, the football season is here. It doesn't get much better than that, does it?
No, sir.
Now, Dave, did I say the last name correct this time?
Yes. Very tricky. So, yeah, you nailed it. Good job.
Good. Of course, again, Dave Spelker from Vipe Magazine. You can get it all around the town. Dick's Sporting Goods is one of the big distributors around here, and there's a lot of mom and pop shops. I'll let Dave get onto that a little bit. What's going on? I know we talked about this issue coming out. It was the 50th. Has it hit the stands yet?
It should be out right after Labor Day.
Okay. So right after the
break.
break.
Pick it up, like you said, at Dick's, at Kroger's, YMCA's, libraries, and just, a host of places all around town. If you can't find one, I'll get one to you. So anybody that needs one, please call us at the office. We'll take care of you.
That's good. People, call Dave. Vipe's doing good. We're glad to be partners with Vipe. What's going on? And I know we mentioned it last week, but new listeners might be tuning in today. With this 50th issue, what will be going into that? Because I know it's a big one.
It is. We've got, oh my gosh, we did put a lot of time and effort into our football preview. Fall sports in general, we'll have pictures from a lot of the events that have been happening, some preseason field hockey tournaments. The articles we put in there, we try to find topical things that help the young men, the young ladies, and their parents as the kids, try to build their resume to get into colleges. We just try to cover the whole gambit of things on the high school scene, and we really appreciate 1450, the Sports Buzz, partnering with us and letting us, have a few minutes on the air to talk about it.
Yeah, it's, I picked, you gave us the Vipes from last weekend, last edition, I should say, not last weekend, and I've read through it. It's got great information if you want to get in there and check out, not just, what's going on in Vipe and around the state, but you have great stories of, players you would never know going around the state, different schools. You have baseball, field hockey, soccer, everything, all the high school sports.
Lacrosse.
Archery.
Yes.
Is that a fall sport?
It will not be a fall sport, but it is, however, the newest KHSAA sanctioned sport. So,
very cool.
Yes, Vipe will be there covering it as it happens. So now we have our last three sports have been archery, bass fishing, and bowling. So that opens up, the high school sports avenue to, all kinds of young men and young women out there, and that's great. Everybody needs
awesome.
something to do, and, they practice just as hard as, the other kids, so very happy to see that.
Yeah, bowling, Mark, if I'm correct, is one of the most popular sports worldwide, obviously, because you can continue it forever.
And bass fishing too. And I've always been really interested in how bass fishing is a competitive thing, because I'm like, how can you make a fish hit the hook? I'm the worst fisherman on the planet.
My roommate, I tell you, he's a big fisherman. He's jealous, Dave, that it's now here. He wanted it to be, when we were in high school back in the early 2000s, and because he went to Murray State for college, and Murray State's a big time fishing school.
Well, I just know that I babysat for my buddy's child just like for 6 hours, and I tried to make the baby eat. I couldn't get that baby to eat for anything. All right, how in the world am I supposed to make this fish bite a hook? I can't even see the fish.
Well, I tell you what, as that season gears up, I will get some of the local high school talent, and maybe we can have them call in, and you guys can ask them those questions. How about that?
Perfect.
That sounds great. I guess that's the only easiest
would
way
be
to get
fun.
it. That's the easy. Yeah, definitely. We're trying to get into obviously 1450. It does the Jefferson High School football games live with I've lost his name. Charlie Jenkins. Charlie Jenkins. I can't forget his name. He's great.
Yeah, man. Charlie Jenkins, he has been around forever and a day, and I don't know that there's a more knowledgeable person in the area on high school football. He has literally just about seen it all. So, yeah, that's outstanding that you guys are doing that. You had the Providence Holy Cross game last night, and more to come. So, yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
great.
we talked last week about just a few different sports. We had the Tiger Run, the cross-country meet going on at Champions Park, and Jacob Thompson out of Holy Cross, he's amazing. He won that. No surprises there. The St. Xavier team won the team title. Really no surprises there. They're loaded again this year. And the ladies from Manual finished second on the girls' side, so props to them. That was a very nice start to the season for the Crimsons. We talked about the Land Rover Kentucky Cup soccer at Ballard, and St. X took that in high drama, beat Oldham County, I think it was, 3-2. And then we had the Apple Tournament. I heard you guys talking about that a little earlier.
Yep.
Ninth year in a row, Sacred Heart Valkyries took that. They had a 3-1 win over Assumption in the finals of the Red Apple Division. So, yeah, last weekend was I was running every which way, trying to get scores and highlights from these events, so we were pretty busy, and then last night we had another round of high school football. I don't know if you guys have talked about that, and I guess the biggest surprise was St. X going down to Bowling Green and coming back with a loss.
Didn't they throw a pick six right at the end of the game? Is that what happened?
They threw there was a Bowling Green interception for a score, I think, in the game. It wasn't right at the end.
Okay.
But Bowling Green did intercept one, I think, at the end to seal the deal. But gosh, I'm looking at the stats this morning. 11 penalties. I think they had 4 turnovers. Just very uncharacteristic of a St. X team. So, you can bet Mike Glazer and company are working on that this morning already, and I fully expect them to right that ship.
Yeah, now you may not know off the top of your head. When is the St. X Trinity rivalry game?
It is September the 28th. So we're looking at, about 3 more weeks?
Yeah, about 3 more weeks to see the second. Yeah, so yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. That just says second. It's the first.
And the good news, if you're a St. X fan, is that that's not a divisional game, so it shouldn't affect you, getting into the playoffs and things like that. But it's still, sound the alarm.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to lose to anybody. So
Bowling Green usually has a good team, and I'm
Sometimes.
looking at John put some stats.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, don't want to take anything away from the Purples. I mean, they played their hearts out and did obviously a great job. If, you can put 38 points on the board against St. X, you're doing something right. So, yes, a good job. They're probably the class of 5A football. Not probably. I would say they are. So, not shame in that loss, but just it still surprised me. So,
yeah, sure.
We'll see. The St. X has Doss next week, so I think that'll be a chance to regroup and, retool things a little bit. Eastern and Butler had a humdinger last night. I don't know if you saw that one. Eastern tried a field goal right at the end to tie. A young man just missed it, and he'd been nailing them in practice and all season, and just had a tough one there at the end. So Butler pulled that one out, 33-30.
Yeah,
high school kickers.
it's tough.
It's hard, man.
It's nerve-wracking.
It's hard to be consistent in high school.
I see some locals. Collins beat Oldham County 24-14. North Oldham beat Christian Academy 17-14. See Lexington Catholic out in 42-7 over Lafayette. Louisville commit Kyle Bolin, 145 yards and 1 touchdown pass, 79 yards rushing mark with 3 touchdowns.
I know. I didn't know he was that mobile.
Yeah,
I had
me
no
neither.
idea.
Yeah, so there's a lot of scores going around. You can get on the KHSA website if you want to check out your favorite high school sports. If you miss your day back in high school, you get on there and check it out. Dave, I can't let you off the line without asking you about tomorrow's game. I know you're a big-time local high school sports guy on the Vite magazine, but I know you love UK and UofL rivalry. Who do you think is going to win tomorrow's game?
Well, I'm going to go with the Cardinals. There are several players on the UofL team that played at Trinity with my son, so I want to see them do well, and so I'm going to be wearing red, and I'm going to say 28-20 UofL.
That's not a bad prediction. I actually, as a big-time Cat fan, Mark, I got the Cards winning 21-17. and it's going to be close. And I think it's going to be a good day. I know you just mentioned your son is a Trinity grad, Dave. If I'm correct, last time I was on with Rashawn in the morning, you are a St. X grad, so that we don't need to get back into the full details, but that's. As Rashawn said, that had a little rivalry of yourself inside the household until he chose it, right?
That made for many good dinner discussions in our family, yes. But it's all good. Both schools are fantastic, as many are around town. And I'm just obviously when your child puts on a uniform for a school, no matter where you've been, you suddenly become a fan of that school. So it's been really, I have the best of both worlds. So I can say I'm alumni of one and a fan of the other. So
there you go.
Life's good.
It's always good to be on top of the world and winning at anything.
Exactly.
Well, Dave, we appreciate you taking out a few more minutes of the Saturday. I'm sure next Saturday and every Saturday from now on, we'll probably be talking to you or so. Again, Vipe Magazine, get out there. Dick's Sporting Goods, Kroger.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Libraries.
It's everywhere.
I'll throw one last thing out.
Okay.
If any of your listeners have a story about a young man or a young lady that's in high school, we'd love to hear it. I mean, that's what we're all about. We want to give recognition to these young men and young ladies. So please email me at the magazine. It's dave.spelker@vipe.com. We'd love to talk to you, get the story, and get them in the magazine. So please, anybody out there, if you have a niece, nephew, granddaughter, let's hear about them.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of great stories all throughout the state that there's so little coverage of high school sports that you got to be able to find them somehow. So if you know there's a great story out there, let's get it out to Dave so he can bring it to a broader audience.
Yep.
Amen. Thanks, guys. Y'all have a great week.
Thank you, Dave.
Dave Spelker from Vipe Magazine. Always enjoyable talking with Dave. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it. I haven't met him in person, but man. I mean, how do you cover all that stuff? I just want to know. That's
a lot of coverage, a lot of sports. It's a full-time gig, though. If you love it, which Dave does, you're going to do it. We love this, and that's why we do this for free.
For free. You don't want these cards. Again,
Doug Beaumont's coming up. It doesn't have the time on here, Matt. I hope you know, because I don't know. John's supposed to put it on there. He did not. John Hancock doing great work.
I guess Doug's just going to walk in the door.
He's just going to trot in.
Hey,
somebody
guys. Say something about a radio show.
And, of course, mentioning John Hancock, later in the show, I do want to mention what his interviews he's pulled out. He's had some good interviews randomly, some Louisville fans might know.
I miss John.
I miss John. Having him sit beside me.
I talk to him once a week. I make sure to make contact with him once a week.
You have to.
His dad's in the hospital right now, and
I think he's doing okay.
And he needs some prayers, but yeah, I think he's going to be just fine. But
he's going to be just fine.
He's going to be at the game tomorrow.
Me and John are going to be at the game. We're all going to be at the game tomorrow. We're going to be doing our show live across from Papa John's Cardinal Stadium tomorrow.
You're going to have Rashawn Myers with you.
Yeah, Rashawn Myers from the Crazy Fools in the morning, Mason and Myers in the morning, and now it looks like we have a 13-0 ball game. Notre Dame is just putting on Navy early here in the first quarter, 12-0. Looks like we had a missed field goal last touchdown. That's all your updates for Notre Dame. If you want to turn it on, you can. It's on one of the local channels, CBS. I just don't like Notre Dame.
I don't like them either.
Before we get to this break, other games nationally going on in the college football world. Obviously, Kentucky Louisville tomorrow. We're going to get into that next segment. USC and Hawaii. The big games of the night, big game of the day, Mark, on ABC, 8 o'clock. Bama versus Michigan.
I love that game.
Mm-hmm.
I love that game. It's the first game out of the box for college football season. Even last night, Michigan State, Boise State's great, but this is a top 10 matchup. Against
defending national champion.
And you're like, okay, why not? You know what I mean? Why
they went out of conference.
Somebody's going to be out of the national championship picture right today. And
maybe.
I like that.
Not necessarily. Look at one lost Bama last year.
It depends on how the season goes.
It does.
But
it's a long one.
But, it definitely is a big setback, and it opens up a lot of discussion when you have one-loss teams in the national championship picture.
Mm-hmm. You got a lot of the top teams, stacking up in the early all day today. LSU, North Texas, Oklahoma versus UTEP, Oregon versus Arkansas State, Georgia versus Buffalo. Like we said earlier, Florida State is hosting Murray State here.
You got a little Marshall, West Virginia, a little in-state rivalry.
West Virginia. That's a lot of rivalry games. Clemson, Auburn today. Kentucky, Louisville tomorrow. They're kicking it off early this season. One game I wanted to mention: Arkansas versus Jacksonville State. your man, John L. Smith's first game taking over.
Oh, man. Well, that's going to be – actually, Jacksonville State's one of the better FCS programs out there. So that should be a decent game, but, Arkansas should handle them, easily, when you're a top team like that. But you never know. I mean, we saw Michigan lose to Appalachian State. And did you see that story about that that Matt shared with us a couple weeks ago about how all the Michigan players were talking about how they
were just baked out of their mind.
They were so hungover from marijuana and alcohol.
No, they were high during the game, Mark. Don't cut yourself short
my
here.
Bad.
Me and Bacon talked about this for a good 30 minutes on the Freak Show.
It's hilarious.
It is. They said they said they were drunk all night partying. Strolling in late, just casual, thinking they're going to blast Appalachian State. Smoked a little bud before the game.
They said they didn't even know that the quarterback was a dual threat quarterback going in. They didn't even have any scouting done on it.
Didn't know anything about him. Obviously, they lost.
Armani Edwards, I believe, was the guy.
You know how many times we just got red flagged? Me and you?
Oh, yeah. We on the social media thing?
On a social Twitter thing. Yeah. We just got red flagged like 20 times in a matter of 2 seconds there. Anyways, I know we got to get to our break.
Clemson, Auburn, too.
Yeah, I just mentioned them.
Oh, my bad. I won't listen to you.
It's fine. We'll come back, 384-1450, the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line. Give us a shout. This is the Weekend Sports Buzz.
Don't step on that field. It's a game faces like mine. And if you don't plan on getting hurt, don't line up on that line. Send y'all to the crib with another L on that record. Oh, y'all going ham? I make y'all my breakfast. Go ahead, scramble that quarterback and I turn him to pancake.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Let us know what you think. Give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line at 384-1450.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Myself, Tyler Boyd, with Mark Blankenbaker, taking you through your Saturday morning every weekend from 9 to 11 on 1450 AM, 1450 to sportsbuzz.com. This segment is brought to you by Jamie Cox of Keller Williams, Louisville East. Sorry, there had a little mishap. He's now
frog out of your throat, Tyler.
No. Let me get it out there again. For Jamie Cox of Keller Williams, Louisville East. If you're playing fantasy football, it's all about a winning strategy. For a winning strategy, when you buy or sell a home, allow Jamie Cox of Keller Williams, Louisville East, put together a winning game plan for you. With interest rates near an all-time low, there has never been a better time to buy or upgrade. For personal attention, effective marketing, and results, contact Jamie Cox at 502-593-5454 or email Jamie directly at Jamie@thederbycityrealtor.com, and he will hook you up. We met Jamie last weekend at the KFF SC draft. He was a fourth year, if I remember right, of the draft. He was very excited. I don't know how his team looked out, but give him a call. Jamie Cox, Keller Williams, Louisville East. He'll hook you up. Get into the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line. Carolina, how you doing today, Carolina?
Oh, I'm fired up. It's Thursday night. When I saw the Gamecocks, where I played freshman football in 1967, beat Dandy, and then last night, my boy from Raleigh didn't do too good against the boys across the mountains in Tennessee. But today, great football. We got another matchup I'm interested in, which is Clemson and Auburn. Of course, my team plays today at 12 o'clock, and I'm worried because Appalachian did go to the big house and whoop up on Michigan a couple years ago, so I'm kind of worried about that one. And then tomorrow you got the, as JR would say, you got a slobber knocker coming up at Cardinal Stadium. I can't wait to see that. I will, by the way, Tyler, I will be down there for the tailgate tomorrow morning to see y'all. I'm looking forward, because they got my two favorite men there on the radio, you and Rashawn, so I know it'll be great.
Hey, I don't fit in that, Carolina Steve. I don't fit in there. It's just Tyler and Rashawn. Okay.
You know, Mark, you got to be on a certain level to be on. If Carolina's put me up on this pedestal, okay, I gotta come and perform tomorrow.
Man,
I really do. It's going to be fun tomorrow, Carolina. I'm glad you're coming out. Like you said, it's going to be me and Rashawn doing the show. Kelly's out tomorrow. It's going to be a fun environment. Who do you think's going to win tomorrow?
I think Louisville, if it's sunny, and a possibility if it's muddy and rainy and messy, I think the Wildcats could pull it upset. Of course, I'm the old-fashioned type, growing up like I did with my dad being the coach, and I'm used to weather like this on the coast of North Carolina. I like the mud because I was one of the hogs. And I just like rain and mud to play in because that way you run the ball. You know, when you throw a forward pass, there's three things that can happen, and two of them are bad.
Yeah, I'm actually excited about tomorrow. I hope every fan, regardless of the rain, 70% chance, I think. I hope they all come out, put on your swimming trunks, your flippy floppies.
Your bathing
Make
suits.
it a beach night at the football game, in my opinion. Carolina, last thing before I let you go, some stuff came out in the past 48 hours for North Carolina. The NCAA actually said that they have found no wrongdoing by the university. What are your thoughts about that? Because if I'm correct, you said a few weeks ago that you weren't all about this.
I tell you what, I'm surprised that it did because of the things that I have heard from people that are close to the thing, I guess it's just one of those cases where the NCAA said Carolina couldn't be doing this, but if Julius Peppers was ineligible, he should never have played football or basketball in Carolina. And by the way, tomorrow after the game, I will be in front of the flat screen and I will be watching your manpower lead them off at Atlanta. Smoke won the poll yesterday.
Yes,
So,
I saw that.
And also, last night, you remember one of the young guns I told you to watch? When his first racing NASCAR, Ty Dillon beat Rowdy Bush, asked him to take the Craftsman truck, and that's his first win ever in NASCAR. He was ARCA champion, and it's just going to be a good sports weekend. And Monday, if it's nice, I may actually go up to Indianapolis and watch him run 300 miles an hour on a quarter-of-a-mile track.
Welcome to the good life. This is Carolina Steve. We appreciate the call. I will be seeing you tomorrow morning, bright and early.
Yes, I will, and I've got a special shirt to wear tomorrow. It's one from Game Day 2010 from Blacksburg, Virginia. On the top, it has the picture of the East Carolina Pirate, and on the bottom, it has the Virginia Tech Hokies, so I can put either hat on it and feel comfortable wearing it for my team. Y'all have a good day.
Have a great day, Carolina.
That man is excited for football as
excited.
we are.
Man,
everybody is.
I'm just watching Notre Dame here, and I'm like, why aren't we playing today? The great thing about
I'm surprised Louisville is. Oh wait, Saturday. What do you expect?
The great thing about Louisville and Kentucky game is that, you know what, we can watch all of college football today, and we don't have to miss any of it.
Nothing.
But man, it is tough to sit here and just watch.
When you're watching just a brutal team in Notre Dame and Navy,
knowing that tomorrow is going to just be like a terrible weather day, and looking outside and being like, today would be a great day, and so it's just kind of.
It's funny. They got Vern Lundquist here for this Navy Notre Dame game. I just saw David Feherty, the golf commentator, there.
He's probably in Ireland already.
He's probably there. I think there's a tournament actually for the European going on over there.
Oh, really?
Right now.
Okay.
It's 13 nuts in Notre Dame. If you want to turn on and get yourself the early morning football fix, I recommend don't. We got college, like Mark said, the college football is starting here at 10. ESPN Game Day, so that's getting your prime time. I actually enjoy watching Game Day.
Doing it from Cowboy Stadium.
Cowboy Stadium. Have you ever been there?
I've not yet, but I do have some friends that are actually out there today. They're big Alabama fans, and they're from Birmingham, and they are in a wedding in Austin, and so they were like, "Oh, this is perfect. We're going to go to this game for sure."
Mm-hmm.
So.
I know we've said we're going to get into the UofL every segment, but we just had some good callers with Dave, and then Carolina just got into it. I promise you this next hour with Doug Beaumont coming on, it will be UK UofL talk leading into tomorrow's show, into the game tomorrow. Beforehand, though, like I said, John Hancock did some great interviews. Louisville fans might be interested in to go check out on KentuckySports.co. He did one with former Cardinal Richard Ragland. Mm-hmm. I remember Richard Ragland as a Kentucky fan. Number two, and then also he did a interview with Steve Forbes. He's one of the bigger junior college coaches out there. He is the coach of Chris Jones, who is a big time player that Louisville is looking into. He got some good information out of Jones, just himself as a person. He seems like a good kid, and just Richard Ragland of his experiences and the UK UofL Governor's Cup. So get on there. John did that. I'm pretty sure he's got one coming out maybe today or tomorrow with the man J-Lo, Jared Lorenzen.
Oh yeah,
he's gonna have one with him talking rivalry. So kind of gearing up for tomorrow's game. Gosh, we're here, Mark. We're here. I can't wait.
Let's do UofL UK on the other side of the hour, man.
We are. Let's go ahead and get to that break. If Matt it doesn't look like Matt's been paying attention, luckily our man Adam Taylor's in the building.
He's on the phone,
doing great things for us as well. So we are going to go ahead and jump to that break. Matt, give us a call 384-1450 on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line. Check us out on livingforless.org. This is the Weekend Sports Buzz.
Remember, we got Tony on the line.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Let us know what you think. Give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line at 384-1450.
Weekend Sports Buzz is back, 14:50 a.m. Check us out on 1450thesportsbuzz.com. You can live stream wherever you are in the world. It's great. It really is. We got a lot of information, news, UK, UofL. And this segment, coming up is brought to you by Franklin Taxing and Accounting. Services the residents and business owners nationwide, not just here in the Louisville, Kentucky area, nationwide. We offer financial planning, tax preparation services, estate planning, and corporation setup and forensic auditing. We can help any corporation or small business with payroll, monthly financials, bookkeeping, and much more. We are located right here in southern Indiana at 611 Watt Street, Jeffersonville, Indiana. Contact our friendly and dedicated CPA, Marcy Franklin, who has over 15 years of experience at 502-424-1179, or check out the website, franklintaxes.com, for further information. They are committed to providing expert advice and meeting every client's individual needs. We met Marcy last weekend, just like we did Jamie Cox. She was great. She was part of the KFF SC draft as well. Good luck to your team. We're not in the same division, so I hope you do well in advance. But to the Green Pool, to you, Mr. David Gerzak, sorry. I'm going to take home this division, my 1,000, and I'm coming for you, Renshaw, in the overall title. I know you are not listening. It was way too early for you, but just getting it out there. Anyways, getting to the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line. Tony, what's up?
Oh, yeah, I want to tell them that investigation against North Carolina was a complete joke and a fraud.
Oh, yeah.
Totally agree with that. Totally agree.
It takes longer than that. It takes longer than that to clear a player to play.
Yeah, it almost seems like somebody got their pockets lined, doesn't it, Tony?
Oh, yeah. If I was Florida State, I would sue the bejesus out of the NCAA
because they got like 3 or 4 years probation for playing one ineligible player.
Right.
So,
and not even that. What about Penn State, who actually technically didn't break any of the NCAA's rules? You know, and we already knew before this even went down that nothing was going to happen to them. But this right here sends a clear message to Florida State. The ACC cares nothing about you. I would go ahead and jump right now. I wouldn't even wait. And the Big East has got a spot open if they was interested. And that would make it interesting. It would.
I'm speaking to the Florida State fan right now. That's a clear message. The ACC cares nothing about you.
And,
I agree.
Tony, also, the Big East, they're about to start their negotiations. Actually, they start today with ESPN for 60 days, but it looks like clear indications that the NBC Sports Network is going to overpay for the Big East sports rights. They may make more money annually than ACC, so it might be worth Florida State's time.
Oh, yeah. And somebody needs to stick it to ESPN. I'm sick of them. I'm tired of them. Somebody needs to stop. I mean, really.
Tony, I can't. I got to ask you.
That's why I like Louisville, because they've always been anti-establishment.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
I'm an anti-establishment kind of guy, so go ahead and buck the trend and send a message. Give them the finger.
So Tony, tomorrow Kentucky's going to beat Louisville, right?
Yeah, right. And what era? What? You just took some of the rum candy or something.
He did. Tyler's trying to get anybody he can get to say that Kentucky will win tomorrow. He's not going to find that person who is saying.
I don't even think Kentucky could beat Trinity.
Oh,
come on.
Well, I don't know about that, but
all right, I got to go, fellas.
All right,
thanks,
Tony. Long-time caller, not first-time listener, Tony.
I like it. Anti-establishment. That's a good way to put the whole Louisville program.
And we are getting right back to the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line. We got another caller line. Ruben, what's going on?
Hello, fellas. I'm a first-time caller, long-time listener. I go back to the days when you was in the basement.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
The Bluegrass Breakdown days on KentuckySports.co, the internet. Yeah, it was fun. So you've been listening to us that long, Ruben?
Oh, yeah, I remember that milk chugging contest. I laughed so hard, Coke came out my nose.
That was a fun night. Ruben, Kentucky or Louisville fan?
I am a Kate's fan.
Kate's fan. So
you excited about the game tomorrow?
I'm happier in a dog in heat right now. I'm really excited about the game.
What do you think the score is going to be?
Well, I think Coach going to pull on victory about, it's going to be tough because it's going to be rain because of Isaacs.
Yeah, the moisture of Isaac is coming in. Ruben, we appreciate the call.
Thanks a lot,
Go
Ruben.
Cats.
Hey, go Cards. But, hey, man.
Ruben. I love Ruben. He's my new Ruben.
What was that? Okay.
What was that?
What was that?
I'm now puzzled.
But anyway, all right, so we got the Governor's Cup tomorrow.
Thank you.
All
We're
right.
here.
Governor's Cup. Kroger.
We got the Governor's Cup.
Kroger made the Governor's Cup trophy for $23,000.
That's a hefty little budget there for the winner.
And they donate $15,000 a year to both school scholarship funds.
And they were trying to rob a kid of a scholarship last year when he hit a half-court shot because his foot touched the line.
That's right. That's awesome.
They gave it to him after Jones
after being
and
shamed into giving it to him. But anyway, I just love this rivalry. I think some of the greatest moments have come during the rain. You take 2000. The game was shortened. Or it was delayed, and then it was in overtime, and then Tony Stallings broke open a run. It was kind of a under the radar because it wasn't on national television. It was just all here locally. And then you had the 2003 game, which was also interrupted by lightning, and that was the game where Rich Brooks was angry with Bobby Petrino for not taking a knee. At the
I remember
very
that.
end.
I remember that like it was yesterday. Actually, Rich Brooks was pissed.
Yeah.
After that handshake, he went up to him, and you could see the fire on his face.
And then the very next year, what did Louisville do with seconds going down? They took the knee.
They took the knee.
And they instead of winning 35-0,
Papaw Brooks, when he speaks, you listen, okay?
Exactly. I mean, he's like, here you go. But it was like almost like a in-your-face smug knee.
Now, let me ask you this. Rich Brooks versus Joker Phillips, would that happen if Joker did it that next year, or they would have went for a touchdown?
If Joker would have been the coach the very next year, I think it was going to happen either way.
No. If Joker's the one that said he went up to the coach, he's pissed at what happened the previous year.
Yes, it would have happened.
Would it have happened?
Yeah, because that's just Petrino.
In my opinion, I think Petrino respects Papa Brooks more than he would respect Joker, and he would probably try to score on Joker.
Maybe.
That's my honest opinion.
Well, I don't know. I mean, because I don't, Petrino hasn't been here for forever.
I know.
But I just am so excited for this game, rain or shine. I do expect that if you have a poncho and you be in your seat, and if you don't go to the game, you find a young person who has never gone to that game, who is willing to sit in the rain in their bathing suit or poncho and watch that game.
That would be a great environment, kind of more like a big outdoor party for all the fans.
Watching a football game in a giant sprinkler.
Get rained on. What's a little rain going to do? It's just got a little acid in it. Nothing going to hurt you.
It's going to be mid-80s. It's not like it's going to be cold.
Now, do you have the weather pulled up in front of you?
I had it pulled up, but I got it memorized.
What was it? Tomorrow.
For tomorrow at kickoff, 80 degrees, 80% chance for rain.
So it's going to be humid as hell.
It's going to be really humid.
Super humid. You're going to be sweating. That rain is going to be a favor for you.
Yeah, that rain will be a favor. And if you're wearing a poncho, that thing's going to hold in some heat. So you're better off wearing your bathing suit if you have the body for it.
I'm really hoping Papa John's staff allows my hat umbrella to come into the stadium. I'm on the sideline, Brad. Yeah, you laugh at me, but it's sweet. It does its job, and I'll be taking great photos of the crowd in the game with no rain. It'll be fun. But into this game, Mark, last 5 years, we have Kentucky 4 out of 5. Last 10 years, it's 5-5. You got a split there.
Right.
Obviously, the series got kicked back off, if I'm correct, in 1994.
Right.
1993, 1994.
I think the last 3 games have been decided by an average of 6 points.
Yeah, it has been close.
Very good series right now. And, I don't know why you can expect anything more except for the fact that I just think that Louisville's much better this year.
Much better.
I think they are much better.
Now, I know I'm not going to disagree. I've got Louisville winning this game. 3-4-14-50. We want to hear your predictions. If you want to shoot us a tweet at KentuckySports.co or at cardsandcats.com, let us know your prediction. We'll get it out there as well. I think the game is going to be a very close game all the way till the final. Whoever's got the possession, depending in the last 10, 15 minutes, the last 10 minutes or so, could win the game.
Yeah, and if it is rainy, you got to worry about the one-off ball popping out way out, and the crazy fumble or the crazy interception. But, when it comes down to it, if it is rainy, I look at the offensive line versus the defensive line and those matchups and who can run the football. And I look at last year, Kentucky, gained 35 rushing yards against Louisville, and Louisville had about 174, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
It may be not entirely accurate, but I know 35 is the number for Kentucky. But I look at that and I'm like, okay, well, how are they going to run the ball any better? I think if Kentucky wins the game, they do it through the air with DeMarco Robinson, LaRod King, and Darryl Collins, and those 3 are the X factors in the game. So when I look at it from a UK perspective, I'm like, they need to be able to throw the ball to beat Louisville, so this rain is not a welcome thing. But you might catch a window where, it's just drizzle, and, that's not going to be that difficult for Kentucky to throw the football.
Yeah, I would not disagree with you one bit there. Obviously, throwing the ball for Kentucky is key. If you want to go to one point where Kentucky could be successful, it is on the receiving end because they do have some talented, fast guys. Now, if they don't catch the ball like all of last season, you're not going to win.
Right.
You come out in the rain. Obviously, is not going to help you catching the ball. But
wind, they're saying that the wind is 50-50 on this. Like, it could be windy, it could be nice.
And one good thing about this issue going on is Max Smith. He was all freshman SEC last year. He does have 8 games underneath his belt. He started 3. He won big games. He had to come back against Ole Miss last year. He's a smart quarterback. That's what he came into college being known as, a smart quarterback that can read defenses, that will make the right moves. If instead of looking deep all game, he'll dump one down. He'll make the smart moves, which is good in this situation because Kentucky does have to, in my opinion, 1 turnover at most against the Cardinals. Because this defense for Louisville, everybody knows Louisville's defense is stout. They were scoring defense was 17th in the nation last year. Their total defense was 23rd. Now, you talk about Kentucky's offensive woes. Well, look at Louisville's offensive woes. You got the same squad, basically, Mark. You're upgraded. 98th in offense last year. 103rd in total offense.
Right.
Just a few spots ahead of Kentucky. It's 12 spots. Where's the expectations, the massive improvements coming from?
And the reason is because the massive improvement happened during the season. Because Louisville, the first
doesn't look like it.
Well, because you got 6 games in there that were absolutely horrid from an offensive perspective. And when Louisville got healthy on the offensive line and Teddy Bridgewater was no longer wet behind the ears, they started putting up yards. They started putting up points. And if you look at the last 6 years' stats compared to the first 6 games, it's completely different, like a Jekyll and Hyde team. So that's where the expectations are coming from. But I will say this about the game. The X factor that could end up happening outside of DeMarco Robinson is if, Joker Phillips, he may have a rabbit up his sleeve in the Wildcat offense.
Joker Phillips has been mum.
Yeah,
he really has.
The Wildcat offense could come into play in a major way. He might decide that he wants to use Morgan Newton as a running
kind of like
a
Matt Rourke against Tennessee type of offense last year.
Especially if the Kentucky defense can slow the Louisville offense in any way. If the weather can slow the offenses together, this is going to be a game that's going to be won.
And with the moisture of Isaac coming in, as the news had on their thing earlier.
Yeah. Good thing it wasn't
kicking.
A female name.
Louisville's kicking is not the best.
No, John Wallace and Matt Nakatani are still not decided. We're going to find out tomorrow who's going to kick field goals.
That could be a big factor come late.
Both kickers have the distance. They just do not have the consistency in their accuracy at this point. So you got to feel good if it's tie ball game and seconds to go and they're kicking a 57-yarder. Who cares? But if it's game on the line, you're down 2 and you need these 3 points even from 25, you're worried.
Rain worried, pressure,
yes.
rivalry
yes.
worried.
It's hard to
say. The fan base about to jump your back worried.
When you have 55,000 people out there and you're a former high school kicker and the largest crowd you've probably ever kicked in front of was 3,000 people, and now it's 55,000 people and
in front of against Kentucky.
Game. Against
make it or break it.
It's like, okay, what are we doing here?
I'm just trying to hope he's listening because I want him to know
that's
a huge kick. I know Matt's forcing us to get to a break here.
No,
I know.
We're not going to a break.
We're going to keep talking Louisville, Kentucky, though. We got a good 45 minutes to go. Doug Beaumont coming on at 10:30. This is the Weekend Sports Buzz.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Let us know what you think. Give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line at 384-1450.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. This is how we do it.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. My name is Mark Blankenbaker, joined by Tyler Bloyd, CardsandCats.com, KentuckySports.co. We have the Governor's Cup 2002 edition tomorrow, 3:30.
2002 edition.
Papa
We're going
John's
back 10 years, and we're
Cardinal
replaying the
2012 edition. My bad.
I had to.
My bad. You know, when you say things and you just talk all the time, you make mistakes. And
Mistakes are okay.
mistakes are okay.
Mistakes are made.
It's a 2012 edition.
Yes.
It's going to be a wet one, it looks like, potentially. We're going to hope for some great weather, but, we're going to be practical here. It's going to be wet.
It's going to be wet.
And, that's okay. We can make this work. It's going to be mid-80s.
Hot and humid.
I think I might swap out my press box pass for the sideline pass.
You going to join me on the sideline?
Maybe. I'm thinking about it. You
should. We'll have a good time. Me and Bacon will be down there sweating up a storm.
This is the worst feeling in the world, to have wet jeans on or like wet shorts.
I'm not wearing jeans. I'm definitely wearing some maybe above the knee shorts.
I would wear swimming trunks if I were you.
I might have to. Is that legal? Is that media worthy?
I think in the rain it is.
I think it is too. I think I would in a Hawaiian shirt and a sun hat, and I'm ready to go.
I think so.
I don't see
fly
why that
fishing
would,
hat.
And now on this, me and Mark kind of wanted to talk about the fans for tomorrow. The fans, the crucial part to the game, because with no fans, there's no game.
We're not talking about it.
We're not talking about it. Me and Mark, we're fans. You're fans. We're the number one part, and just be good. We got the rivalry game. There's going to be a lot of Kentucky fans in the area. A lot of obviously Louisville fans. It's going to be packed. Make it a fun day. Maybe look to your friend to the right and tell him that, hey, Kentucky sucks. Louisville sucks. Don't go further. No fights.
Well, I'll actually tell you a story.
No vandalisms.
Every time the game is in Lexington, I go.
Uh-huh.
And I go to this guy. His name is Bubby. His real name's Ray, but everybody calls him Bubby. He has the best food. He's a Kentucky guy. And I'm always at his tailgate before every UofL and UK game. And I feel welcome. And I feel like I'm with friends. You know what I mean?
Friends.
And I'm wearing my red, and they're all wearing their blue. And we talk about the game in a cordial fashion. And one of the things that I always tell people is, you know what? If you don't know somebody, why
let it go.
Why are you talking to them?
Let it go.
Why are you talking to somebody you don't know?
I like to talk to people I don't know.
I tell my friends, that have kids. I'm like, don't talk to people you don't know.
Just let it go.
Let it go. Yeah.
Smile at them, maybe.
Exactly. You might put your L up.
Yeah, put your L up.
Or if you're a Kentucky
throw your goggles.
You might say "Go Cats" to one another.
Yeah.
But why single somebody out that you don't know?
Unless they're just one of those stupid, obnoxious.
No, come on. But yeah, there's no need for the for what happened 2 years ago at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium with the Kentucky fan who's actually now deceased. He vandalized all these cars, slashed tires, and put
I remember that.
UK wins and all that stuff.
Don't pull an Auburn Clemson. Don't go kill all the trees of the campus.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't bring a whistle to the game.
That was funny.
And
it was unnecessarily funny.
Actually, one of the things about that really isn't good is that the guy that caught the pass, Stephon Ball, was injured in the very next game, and he's out of football. And that was going to be his only catch in his career, and it was set up perfectly for him. I mean, he may not have scored, but it would have been a catch. It would have been a highlight for his career, and he spent the entire time at UofL injured, with knee and leg and hip and back injuries. That to see that play ruined by a fan in the stands just wasn't cool. And Louisville and Kentucky, we had the fight at the dialysis clinic leading up to the Final Four, relatively tame. Okay, for other rivalries around the country. You look at Dodgers, Giants.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. They beat the hell out of that guy.
And then you look at Raiders, Niners. For the most part, our fans understand this. You always have a really small percentage of people who haven't been there before.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to act in public. They spend a lot of time in their mom's basement, and then they get out and they act a fool. And that cannot happen. And if you see it, you got to, don't go handle it yourself. There's cops going to be all over the place and security personnel. Go tell them they'll handle it. And so
just make it a fun day. Looks like Notre Dame just took another one to the house. They are now just running away with this game in the second quarter. Late in the second quarter, it looks like it's about to be 26-27 to zip over Navy. They got the early game going on over in Dublin, Ireland. Trevor Bacon-Kelsey, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the Baconator, sent me a little text about the game. The Notre Dame Aviva Stadium in Dublin, built in 2010. It's used, obviously, for soccer-friendly games. Republic of Ireland national team, as well as the Irish rugby team. So, obviously it's not the football. It's football.
Oh, okay.
But it's for our football today. They really haven't shown much of the stadium, but what I've seen is it's a cool-looking stadium. It's oddly shaped, kind of like Seattle. I wouldn't call it. It doesn't look anything like Seattle's football.
Right, it doesn't.
It's the Seattle Seahawks, but it's got a cool shape to it, regardless.
It does.
Anyways, that was Notre Dame and Navy.
So you have the final score for tomorrow at what?
Final score for tomorrow. I've been saying it all week. 21-17. I've been saying it all week for
Louisville or Kentucky?
Louisville.
Okay.
But that's why I have it 21-17 because it could be 21-17 Kentucky.
Right.
Like you said, I'm trying to look at this as rain or shine, this score, regardless. I'm trying to look at it that way. Now, I know if it rains, it could be totally a blowout on one half. It could be a blowout for Kentucky. Louisville just comes out just not wanting to play in the slop. Just want, you know what I'm saying. Regardless, the chances of that happening are very slim. But I got it 21-17 Cardinals. What about you?
I have it at 30-13 Louisville, and the reason why is
that I'm assuming rain, shine, no matter what. Rain or
shine, and the thing is that I was writing the Sheriff preview for the Governor's Cup, and I actually wrote it originally at 27-13, and then I realized that the spread was 14, and I was like, I don't want to be the guy, that writes prediction and has the margin right on the number, so I was like, I need to put 3 points on one side or the other. And then I was like, I was trying to decide which side to do it. Do I do it 24-13 or do I do it 30-13? And I went 30-13 because I feel like Louisville just has, more offense right now.
I just don't see Louisville. I don't see either of these teams scoring in the 30s. I just don't. I think both defensive, even though Kentucky's is not as proven as it has been over years, I still think it's a good defense. You've got obviously Nelms in the secondary. He's a great secondary. You got Avery Williamson, who I think is going to put a lot of pressure.
Really
on.
Nice guy, by the way.
Have you met him? I've met any of them. I've met a few of them. Very select few of them. I think he's going to put a lot of pressure on Cardinals. He needs to. It's one of my things. Mark, if you disagree with me, if you think so, but Kentucky, to win this game, they must put pressure on with the nuclear mentor defense all game long. They must pull in 2-3 turnovers. Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy. And I think what you said is true. Rick Mentor is going to bring the house. I mean, he's known
all night.
He's known for his blitzes, just like Vance Bedford and Charlie Strong are. So if you're into the blitz, this is a game to watch.
If you're the defense, you're going to love it.
Because they're going to use the whole formula that NC State used against Teddy Bridgewater last year. Bring the house, beat him up, hit him, see if you can get him out of his element. Teddy was tough in that game.
Teddy turnover.
But he threw 3 picks, and that was against, 2 were to David Amerson, who's a first-team All-American. Kentucky does not have a player of Amerson's caliber on their team, but they still have really good, first line of defense in the secondary. I'm not sold on Kentucky's depth.
They're not deep.
All.
They're not that deep.
In the secondary, especially.
That obviously in the secondary, they've had the two ineligible, an injury taken out there. With Glenn Faulkner, he was a talented guy in the backfield for.
But he was also running second string.
Exactly.
But I look at Louisville last year. 3 true freshmen started that game. So, Kentucky's going to have to rely on some true freshmen at the corner position, just like Louisville did last year. The guys that Louisville's leaning on last year are a year older, and that's one of the reasons why everybody's so sold on this defense, because they've been in the top 25 for 2 years in a row, and now they lose just Dexter Heyman and Will Savoy. They did lose Greg Scruggs, but Scruggs barely played for Louisville last year. I mean, I think he played a total of 3 games were the snaps last year.
Now, I'm trying to think back, Mark. I'm looking down your sheriff preview here. It's awesome. If you haven't checked it out, cardsandcats.com. It's beautiful, actually. Year-by-year breakdowns, obviously leading into tomorrow's game. How many games over the last 10 years, if you can remember, Mark, have the winning team scored over 30? I want to know that.
Off the top of my head? Oh, man.
Maybe once or twice, maybe.
The winning team?
The winning team of this rivalry. I'm looking at it down this list, and I haven't seen one.
You haven't seen it yet? Well, I think we have a media guide. I would say
okay, except in 2006 when they put it on them.
I would say 4.
3 or 4. So about half of them, 30 points or so. I just don't see it happening. I don't know why. I
might be wrong. Defense, and I think they're going to make some turnovers. I think they're going to get some short fields. I think they're going to take advantage. And if Louisville gives the ball up, and in the same fashion, Kentucky could be in this game. I look at DeMarco Robinson. He needs a dry track. He is a playmaker. He is the X factor in this game for me. If I'm a Kentucky fan, I'm looking at DeMarco Robinson from a kick and punt return perspective, and also any way that Kentucky can get the ball in his hands to make a play. I'm looking at that. LaRod King is your possession guy.
Yeah.
Koshik Williams, he's going to have to get
very strong kid.
Yes.
Very strong.
And then Deshaun Mobley, he's gonna factor into the running game as well. I'm not sold on Raymond Sanders. I don't think anybody is. I think he's going to play for simply because of experience factor. I think Mobley's going to be the guy that they go for moving forward during as the season progresses. But I just don't know how much they're going to actually lean on Mobley right out of the box. So we'll find out.
We will find out. Let's get to the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln and Buzz on. Dave, what's going on?
Hey guys, just gonna comment on some of the things y'all are analyzing the game on there.
Okay.
I don't know if blitzing all day from Kentucky's standpoint is going to be a good move. I mean, I understand that might be their normal scheme, but Louisville's offensive line, I think, is being very underrated. I think that is actually a strength of their team. I mean, they have I don't know if he's an honorable mention All-American, but Mario Benavides is a very good center. So he's making the blitz pickups. He's the one making the calls. So you don't have an inexperienced guy there. And they got some big physical guys that had to lick their wounds a little bit at the end of last year, but now they're going into their second year of playing. Guys like Jamon Brown and Jake Smith and John Miller. I don't think blitzing's going to be a good move. Plus, Louisville's going to change their techniques a little bit this year. They're going to be going with more two-back sets instead of one-back sets to pick up blitzers, and I think Teddy Bridgewater will just pick apart if they blitz them all day, because putting Kentucky's DBs against guys like Parker and Andrell Smith and these taller, more physical receivers, well, I guess Parker's more athletic than physical, I think that'd be just signing your own death warrant right there by just putting those guys out there on an island. If Louisville picks up the blitz, Louisville will definitely score more than 30. Just my opinion. I think Louisville's offensive line is being a little bit underrated, and I think throwing that second running back in the backfield to pick up that blitz is going to hurt Kentucky.
Yeah, Dave, I don't disagree with you at all, but I think it's one of those things where Rick Mentor has to make a choice. Is he going to sit back and let Teddy Bridgewater pick him apart, or is he going to force the decision and try to challenge that young? Let's face it, John Miller, Jake Smith, and Jamon Brown are still just sophomores. And I also think that Dante Rumpf and Mr. Cobble at the defensive tackle position on the interior defensive line may have a slight edge, or at least even in terms of the offensive line. I think where Louisville really has the advantage is at the tackle positions against the defensive ends, because I'm not sold on Colin Juku or Taylor Wyndham at all along that defensive line. And I think Rick Mentor's thinking will be to blitz to at least make Teddy make quick decisions rather than have him sit back in the pocket and find the open receiver. I think that they're going to try to hit him, and I think they are going to try. And I think it's one of those things where you got to pick your poison.
Hey, Dave, let me get a score prediction from you.
I'm not buying into as much as everybody is with the weather.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, weather is going to play a role, but that's artificial field there at Louisville Stadium, so it's not like it's going to be muddy. People that have played football, I mean, it's more of a nuisance than it is ball's not necessarily slick. I mean, it's made out of leather, so it's not like it's slick. It's just more of a nuisance when it rains. I think wind could affect it. If it's a windy day, I think it'll be lower scoring. But if it's just a steady rain, I don't see any problem. I think y'all were saying you don't see Louisville being able to put up 30.
I don't see them having a problem putting up 30. I'm thinking Kentucky may be able to as well, possibly. I mean, Louisville's defense is a strength, but I think Kentucky's going to be a totally different offense than they were last year. I have a feeling they're going to throw some wrinkles out there. Anyway, rambling on about the score, I think probably Louisville pulls away a little bit in the second half. I'm looking at like 31-17, 31-14, something like that.
That works.
I think they both play pretty close to the best in the first half.
I would totally agree. Dave, we're up against the break. We appreciate your call, buddy.
All right, no problem.
I can't disagree with anything Dave said. He made great points of the defense of Louisville. They got experience, but you made the same with Louisville's defense up front, kind of young. Yeah. Louisville's offensive line up front, kind of young. Anyways, let's get to our break. Doug Beaumont, former Cardinals, coming on to Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzzline. Stick with us. This is the Weekend Sports Buzz.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Let us know what you think. Give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line at 384-1450.
Here comes the hot stepper. I'm the lyrical gangster. Big up the crew in the area. Still have it like that.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. I have a very loud R&B song in my ear. My name's Mark Blakebaker. I'm with Tyler Bloyd. Right now on the line, we have former male Bulldog, former Louisville Cardinal, Doug Beaumont. Doug, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great.
Fantastic. Now, Doug, you played in 4 episodes of the Governor's Cup. What does this game mean to you, and what does it mean to the team after going through fall camp and just kind of finally being able to hit somebody that's not your teammate?
Oh, I mean, to me, it's personal to me. I grew up a UofL fan. I've always been a part of the rival, and I just know how big it is. And for the team, it's just being so far from just being able to hit somebody and then coming to the game day, they're just ready to get out there and just try to pound somebody. And for it to be our rival, it just makes it even more fun.
Do you have a specific play or moment that happened for you during the rivalry series that kind of stands out above all others?
I know when my senior year we was down by a couple touchdowns and we needed a big drive, and it was like third and 9, and we needed a big play, and I ran a route across the middle, and Adam Froman saw me and threw me the ball, and I dove out and caught it to help us get another first down. That really stuck out to me. Just being able to help the team keep on the drive and keeping the fight going. So I do remember that play.
Right, and Doug, you were an extremely reliable player on special teams and also at the receiver position, especially like caught a lot of balls and only 1 touchdown. How frustrating was it to catch all those balls and get so close so often, only to find the end zone once?
It was very frustrating, but I know I was just trying to be a team player and just go out there and help my team with any situation that was possible. So if it was just a 3rd and 2 and I had to do a drag route across the middle just to get a first down, that's what I was going to do. I didn't mind not having the touchdowns. Yeah, I did want touchdowns, but at the same time, as a team player, I just want to be able to help the team.
It was really fun watching you do the Dougie after you did get the touchdown, though.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. I remember that, doing the Dougie, and then realizing that I was on kickoff, so I had to get a drink of water and get back out there because I was back on special teams.
On the special teams part there, what did you like more? Obviously, you loved catching the ball, getting the team into offensive field position. What did you like more, getting there or getting out maybe on special teams and hitting somebody? Because I know you led in 2007. You were one of the leaders on the special teams with 14 tackles.
Yep. Well, in high school, I played both ways, so sometimes I had that want to get back out there and just be able to pound somebody or to be able to tackle somebody. So special teams helped me just release some steam from if somebody hit me kind of hard on being a receiver. I mean, I always liked the receiver. I always like to be able to go out there and be a weapon for our team and making big plays and having the crowd go wild from a good catch or something. But sometimes I just going out there on special teams and hitting somebody just as hard and making the crowd go, ooh, that was also fun for me.
And Doug, what's going on with you right now? I know you tried your hand in the NFL with the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know how far along that actually got. So what's going on with you now?
Right now, I'm just still working out, still pursuing it, but at the same time, I'm starting to work on my plan B. So I had 6 hours left in my college education. I'm finishing up in the business school, getting that over with, and then just going from there. Maybe someday start something. I'm out here networking, trying to just looking for a job.
Yeah, hiredougbeaumont.com.
Yeah.
He's a good young man, and he's very reliable special teamer and receiver for the Louisville Cardinals. Doug, can't let you go without asking you what you think about this game coming up and this Louisville football team, and just your thoughts.
I think it's going to be a great game. I mean, both teams have been working really hard, but I'm a diehard UofL fan, so I know that UofL is going to pull it out. They really improved. Coach Strong's has brought in some great recruits along with the talent that they have. They were very young last year. So this year they should be very experienced and be able to just come out there and give it their all. And hopefully this first game will prove that Louisville is back on the map again, and they'll just only continue to improve. Hopefully it don't be a swamp out there, though, on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm not wanting it to be. I'll be on the field for the doing reporting. I'm hoping for a sunny day, even though it's what, Mark, 80% chance of rain. 80% chance of rain. That's not gonna be fun. I wanted to ask you, Doug. You played for Charlie Strong one season, correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, then obviously you had Cragthorpe before that. What was the transition like between the Cragthorpe era and then to Charlie Strong?
I mean, Cragthorpe was a great coach. He was a great person. I really looked up to Cragthorpe. It was just, you can just tell when Coach Strong came in there that everything was going to change. Everybody got his trust pretty early. You knew that he was going to have our back, and you could tell he was just one to come in to help his players and also just help us get wins back in the program, and that's what he's done. I mean, you look around, everything's around Strong, Carr Strong, Coach Strong. You just know that it's good tension, and everybody wants to play for him.
Yeah, for sure. Now, like Mark said, we need a score prediction for tomorrow's game. A lot of people are saying in the 30s for the Cardinals, and some people like myself, I have it 24-17 Louisville. Even if I am a diehard Kentucky fan, I got the Cards winning. Prediction from you?
I would say if it didn't rain, I was going to predict 28-14, but since the rain, they're going to put up 21 points, and the Cats will only put up 10.
Okay, that's a fair enough prediction. Somebody that's actually been in the mold and been there, the reps every day, I trust his words way more than I trust yours, Mark, or anybody else that's told me. So I had to.
He's a male graduate, though, so he's pretty smart.
As you are.
As I am, that's right.
Yes, that's right.
That's right. Well, Doug, we appreciate you taking a few minutes out and getting prepared for the game. Are you going to be there tomorrow?
I should be out there.
Awesome. Well, maybe if we see you, we'll come say hey.
Okay, then.
All right, Doug.
Thanks a lot, Doug Beaumont. That was Doug Beaumont from former University of Louisville and male high school Bulldog.
I'm looking over his Mark.
Knows a lot about this rivalry.
Oh yeah, he's grew up right here in the city.
Yeah, I mean, this is ground
zero. Couldn't ask for anything more better. We had Tronzo on a month ago. Right here in ground zero. A lot of people. I'm looking at some of his high school stats. He was a monster for male. Over 5,000, almost 6,000 yards over his career.
Yep.
He was a Gatorade Player of the Year his senior year, Mr. Football in 2006. He was rated as the 23rd best wideout in the nation. Beast for Bob Redmond.
Something else is that I think he actually probably would have been a better safety than he would have been a receiver. I think he was extremely.
Should have asked him that.
Extremely good. I don't want him to, look back and wonder.
He said I'm sure he looks back and wonders like everybody else. I look back at my Little League days and wonder, if we had better coaches, could we have been there?
Could we have been in the Little League World
Could we
Series?
have been there? Because we were good.
Oh, yeah. I think you look back at your
what a comparison
at your Little League days. It's a little too often there, Tyler. But that's okay.
I haven't talked about Little League forever. I'm not the biggest, Little League goer out there. It's cool to watch the kids out there.
What time are you going to be out there tomorrow?
I will be there early. We will be 2801 South 4th Street, right across from Papa John's. I don't know the exact building name, but you'll see us posted up, getting the show going right there.
The short bus.
The short bus will be in the A lot. So don't look for the short bus is there, but it won't be where we're posted up.
Okay.
Like Carolina said, it'll be myself and Rashawn Myers. We brought in our man from Cincinnati, Reds rap guy. He's going to join us as well. Kentucky fan Brad Steen. He's in there with us, going to do some fill-in occasionally. Maybe get the fans riled up. I think you're a good riled up kind of guy, hype man.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be fun. It's 10 to 12 tomorrow, Weekend Sports Buzz. And then right after, from 12 to 1, Nick Coffey, the Card Connect.
Inside the press box.
I don't know if he's calling it Inside the Press Box or maybe just a little
special edition.
Special edition. The Coffee Talk. Maybe. Coffee Talk special edition.
Coffee with coffee.
Coffee with coffee. So that follow us right away. And actually, Coffee dreamt about my co-host on Sundays, Kelly Patrick, over the week.
I'm a little worried about him.
I'm a little worried, too. He said he had a dream about him. Him and his wife were watching Big Brother. Boringest show ever. Dumbest show ever. And then he went to bed and had a dream that Kelly Patrick won Big Brother.
Yeah.
Kind of odd to me. He was dreaming.
Considering that he's not on.
Maybe we should bring him in on a Sunday. We can all have a good powwow, hold hands. I don't know. But what?
Nothing. On the line right now, the Ford Lincoln Buzz line, we have Brent. Brent, what are your thoughts?
Tyler, Mark, what's up, fellas? It's Brent from Louisville Sports Live. How are y'all doing?
Hey, how's it going, Brent?
Good, man. Good. Was just in the gym listening to you guys on the TuneIn app, coming in loud and clear. You guys are doing a good job this morning.
Oh, thanks.
Wanted to call and Tyler, you know I love you, but I gotta bust your balls about something real quick.
It's never good when you start out with Tyler. You know I love you, but it's never going good.
Honestly, this is more. I've heard this a lot this week, and now I'm no Mark Blankenbaker, and I certainly can't write a preview like what he did on his site.
Oh,
but
come on now.
I wrote a separate one on ours yesterday, and I talked about this because I've heard, I mean, literally on every radio show, and I've talked to fans, I've seen it on Twitter. Everybody on the other side, and I'm the most objective person in the world. Honestly, I'll call a spade anytime. Kentucky is dominating us in basketball. I mean, I'll call it the way I see it. I have no problem, as big of a Louisville fan as I am, of giving Kentucky their props when it's due. That said, I don't understand the whole Louisville had this team last year. They were crappy. Who's to say they're going to be any better on offense? And that seems to be the argument from all the UK fans. And the one thing that I would say is I just don't think you're looking at it from an objective point of view, because you're talking about 3 true freshmen on the offensive line. Basically, Mario Benavidez misses the good part of 4 games. The entire line was injured. For at least, Mark, wouldn't you say half the year? By about week 6, they finally started to gel, and you saw a big improvement. They won 5 out of their last 6 regular season games. You had an offensive coordinator change in week 5, so you had an old system that he had to work with. You got an entire offseason to implement a new system. You've got a true freshman quarterback that you throw in the mix in week 3. By all accounts, he's a student of the game. This guy is the real deal. Some people inside the program say he might be the best quarterback ever to come through there. You've got a stable of running backs. You've got, and more importantly, again, Sean Watson now has a full season to implement his offense. I don't get it was the same team, they were crappy on offense, they won't be any better argument.
Right, and what you said, Brent, is you look at the injury aspect. You start out the season with Mario Benavidez on the bench at Cupper. At center, you have Hector Hernandez, who kept doing about faces at left tackle, and that.
I mean, come on, what a joke! Come on, he's horrible.
Yeah, and then in the Kentucky game, you lose John Miller. In the Marshall game, you lose Cameron Joyer. Now you're moving Jamon Brown from defensive tackle to now plug in and start at left guard when he hasn't even started a college football game. The offense really came together when Mike Sanford left. Sean Watson kind of came in, and the first game was North Carolina. It didn't look good. Against Cincinnati, it finally did. They nearly won that game. They were leading that game in the fourth quarter, and then all of a sudden there was like procedure penalty after procedure penalty. You didn't see the real team until the Rutgers game, and then after that they go 5-2 the rest of the season.
Well, my thing again, look, they were awful last year. The 98th in the country. I mean, there is no defending how bad the offense was last year. But again, objectively speaking, when you look at it, the whole coordinator thing is what everybody seems to be just looking past on the other side. You have an offensive coordinator change, midway through the season, you've got an old system in place. The players are used to a totally separate nomenclature. The whole culture had to change, and he had to work with an old system. Now he implements his system, more of a West Coast thing with more misdirections and quick slants and reads with the quarterback. It's going to be completely different. I just don't understand. Well, they weren't that great last year, so it's the same players. They won't be good again this year. That just makes no sense.
Now I'm just
I love you, but you got to address that.
I'll go ahead and address it for you, Brent. Now, if I didn't come with this, if I didn't look at the stats from last season, maybe look at comparisons, as you kind of do when you have the same type of teams, what am I going to be able to argue? I'm a very objective fan. I have been ever since we started this. But what am I going to be able to argue? I'm not also the fan that's going to come out and just fold over. I've got to find something, and I'm just looking into numbers as my way of getting into it. Yes, I am the guy that knows it doesn't matter. Louisville is a much improved team. They are very deep. They're going to win, in my opinion. I've already said it. I know you've seen it. We've talked about it. There's got to be something, though. I got to find something to argue with, so I'm just going to go by the numbers.
Right, and the other part of the equation, The other part of the equation is I've heard a lot of Kentucky fans say, we want the rain, we want the rain, we want the rain. The rain benefits the underdog. Well, it only benefits the underdog if that underdog can run the football. And last year, Kentucky gained 35 yards against the Louisville run defense. That Louisville run defense is probably tougher this year than it was last year. It's healthy. It's the first game of the season. You only lose Dexter Heyman. You're going to plug in Preston Brown and move in George Durant and Keith Brown at that spot. I don't want to run the ball against Louisville. Kentucky's angle, the way that they win this game is through the air. You don't want the rain. You don't want the wind.
Brent, let me get it before we let you go. Score prediction from you. What get it out there?
Real quick too, and you're right, and you make fair points, Tyler. And I will say this: I don't think the teams are as far apart as a lot of Louisville fans might make it out to town. And I don't want to make it sound like Louisville's going to come in here and just drop 50 points like they're some offensive juggernaut, because they're not. Now, by week 4, when they're a little more in rhythm, I expect bigger things. But this first week, nobody knows what you're going to get. It's the first week, 4 weeks of practice, a little bit of camp, who knows. That said, 24-14, Cards win a pretty close one.
Hey, that's a fair prediction in my book.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, Brent, man. We really appreciate it. That's
all right, boys. Have a good one. Keep up the good work.
All right, man. I'll see you tomorrow.
That was Brent Lepping from Louisville Sports Live. They do a show on 680 a.m. on ESPN Radio.
We've had Brent on in the past, and it was great. I'm glad Brent called in. We haven't talked to him in a while. We were actually going to try to get Brent on recently.
Great guy. Him and
there he goes.
Do good work over there. And
he's getting his workout in, getting his buff on before the big game tomorrow, because I'm going to be flexing my muscles out on the field, showing all these Card fans what's it about. We got a few minutes left. If you want to jump in quickly, give us your score prediction, 384-1450, 384-1450. And again, KentuckySports.co, CardsandCats.com, and 1450tosportsbuzz.com. Great stuff been putting out over the last month or so. Every day, you're looking at 10, 12 articles a day. Great previews from Mark and the Sheriff. Like I said, if you want the best UK UofL preview for yourself, gearing it up tomorrow, get on there and check it out. And tomorrow, we will be there. I know, Mark, the show is from 10 to noon. Downtown, Papa John's Cardinal Stadium. It's going to be a battle. Two Cats fans versus one Card fan. Rashawn, if you are listening, I got my muscle in the building today. Brad, I had to bring him. It's going to get ugly tomorrow with you. We're actually going to do a couple giveaways too, Mark. We bought a field goal.
Oh, really?
We got a little field goal.
Is it like a full size?
If you've ever been into Speedway and you've seen one of those Bud Light ones, it's one of those. We got it for a great deal.
Did you just take it?
No.
You just took it out of the gas station.
I five-finger discounted it. No, but if you get it, we got a great deal. We're going to do a couple contests for some fans who may have had a few adult beverages that early. And see if they can kick a field goal. You'll win a gift certificate or two. It's a small little 7x8. It's fun. It'll be a fun day tomorrow.
Cannot wait for tomorrow.
What time are you going to be there? You going to come early? You going to come late?
My father, he coaches Bellarmine field hockey. They're playing Kutztown University at 11.
Who?
And
the booze are being rained down.
The booze will be raining down. So I'll be there around 1 o'clock.
And I
have to go to his game.
As we speak, I get the text message from Rashawn. He was listening. You will need everything you got. LOL. Hey, Rashawn, I can't wait, my man.
Rashawn is locked and loaded right now. I love it.
He's at home just printing off articles. What can I say? What can I say?
What did Tyler say today that I can go back on? I'm gonna have it all written down. It's gonna be typed out and annotated.
It's gonna be great.
At the 7:03 mark. The show.
You have to come out tomorrow. If you're listening and you're a fan of the Sports Buzz crew, we will all be there. Come out tomorrow. We'll be there early, setting up. Again, our show starts at 10 to noon. Then coffee 12 to 1, but we'll be there early getting set up. I know Carolina's going to come out there. If you want to meet Rashawn, the biggest and baddest Louisville fan around, come on out and check us out. It's going to be a great day. I know he's listening. I love Rashawn. It's going to be so fun.
It's going to be so fun. Be nice to your neighbors.
Yeah, be nice to your neighbors. Even for maybe from 3:30 to 6:30, you might hate them. I'm going to hate them. I'm going to hate my neighbors.
Represent your school. Represent yourself.
Have a great time tomorrow. Is really all matters. The game's going to speak for itself, right?
Yeah, college football.
All the predictions are over.
It's a celebration of football and athletics.
You're as happy as I am, Mark. The prediction time is over. We can stop talking about this Uno game. We can just play it out.
And we can just talk about something that actually happened.
And then once Kentucky wins, we can talk about how we just swept again and just ride Card Nation just rolling over.
Okay.
Answer this. We got about 2 minutes, Mark. Answer this. If, that is the word, if Kentucky wins, what will happen tomorrow?
What will
tomorrow
happen?
Evening?
Tomorrow evening.
Fire. What are the fans saying? They're not going to say fire Charlie. I'm not that dumb.
Nothing.
What
I mean,
happens?
Everybody just regroups and moves
Just
on.
regroups. Nothing's. It's just another game.
There's 11 more games.
Just another game against who we have been. We're deeper than you. We're badder than you. We're radder than you.
We are, but if you lose the game, you can't let it tank your season. And neither can Kentucky.
I'm not asking about the season. I'm not asking about next week. I'm asking about 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. That next morning on the radio shows. What's going down in Cards fans' minds? Not your mind, because you're fine. You're
I'm
fine.
chilling. Yeah,
you're chill.
I'm not my
the absurd part of the fan base is that everybody has.
Yeah, my self-worth is not attached to the Louisville football program. So
I'll tell you,
I'm okay.
if Joker loses, the first call on every call in the show is fire Joker, fire Joker, fire Joker, fire Joker. It's going to be that.
It might be, but you know what? It depends on how close the game is. If you're Kentucky,
what are the excuses for the Cardinals? Oh,
it could
we just
big
first
play.
game of the season. We weren't prepared.
If Louisville loses, it's because DeMarco Robinson made big plays. Louisville is susceptible to the big play, just like T.Y. Hilton against FIU.
Good point.
He's the reason why they win the game.
So you'll be okay if Kentucky beats Louisville tomorrow, is what you're telling me.
I'm not going to be okay with it.
You're going to have a mental breakdown as the fan base is. Yes, you will. You've been all year since basketball ended. We're going to blast you. We're going to blast you. You got no shot. We're way better than you.
I think you're characterizing me
top 25
in a different.
I'm going with the fan base. I'm not looking at you. That's why I asked you what is the fan base.
The fans always have knee jerk reactions.
That's why that's not
fans
you.
always.
I know.
It's either fire this or fire the offensive.
They're not going to call Charlie's head, will they?
Or get rid of
But they're going to be livid.
But you know what? Charlie better start winning some local recruiting battles, or he better
watch out for Vandy. Both our schools. Goodness,
unbelievable.
Anyways, we are down to our final minute. 24-17 Cardinals, my prediction.
Finally talk about something real.
We can get into the week-by-week basis, the season. We can get into the season. Come out tomorrow, 2801 South 4th Street, right across from Papa John's Cardinal Stadium. The Sports Buzz crew is going to be there. Me and Rashawn and Brad will be getting from 10 to 12. It's going to be a fun show. This is the Weekend Sports Buzz. Go Cats.